Am I live? Yeah. Oh my God, what an absolute joke of a system. Sorry, everybody. I'm gonna get OBS sorted now because this is just stupid. Absolute joke. Hopefully, everyone can find the stream. YouTube, man, sort this out. Come on. Why does it do that? We'll delete this. Don't need that. There's another one that says like it's upcoming or whatever. Got it. Caught a quick 1200 on a push up. Oh, Thomas, smashing it, man, smashing it. Really good stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. YouTube is just an absolute piss poor system. I'm telling you. How they don't have a system where if you're like the connection will drop a little bit. It still works because my internet's still working. It just slows down or whatever, and then YouTube decides to never reload the stream. You got to start all the way from scratch again, and then the camera wouldn't load. Claimed I didn't have a camera plugged in. Well, obviously, I do. I don't know. I need to get OBS sorted. It's the only option. I got to do OBS, something like that. Some proper streaming platform, because when you're doing it directly off YouTube, it's just not designed to be what's the word? Stable. I don't know. You would think a multi-billion dollar company would have a system in place that I don't know. All that money and the engineers haven't figured out how to continue a stream if the internet drops a little. It's just, I don't know. All right. Let's see if we can get some trades in before this internet decides to, oh man, that stuff with double topping. Damn, look at all that volume at the top. That happened so quickly. I would never have caught that. I wouldn't have caught it. But Thomas says he caught the long. So really good stuff there, Thomas. Just got to double check. I haven't got anything running that's slowing down my PC. I'm going to close out a few things because I think it just works a bit better if I get rid of a few programs running in the background. Everything just runs a bit smoother, hopefully. All right. What's happened? Let's have a look. So we opened with a bit of a range, small range, nothing major. Boom, 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 boom. We kind of shot up a bit, tested the top. Now we're at that point of control. Buyers are coming in again. It's all a bit, sellers are defending. Is this the type of opening you talked about earlier where it goes in one direction and suddenly dumps the other way or vice versa? Kind of, but not quite. This was more of a range-bound open, like where it just, I'm talking this, the one I spoke about earlier happens like within minutes. We haven't had one like that in a long time. Not this year yet. We obviously last year we had it, quite often, not quite often, but we had it plenty of times. But this year we haven't had that kind of open yet. This is more of like a range-bound open where buyers and sellers are just all coming in crazily hot, and then one kind of overpowers a little bit. So when I see something like that, normally I kind of treat it more as a range day, because they're just kind of locked in. So maybe we might have like a smaller range. Maybe we might be stuck for the most of the day in this kind of area until eventually we break out. So I'm going to treat it more like a range day from now until it tells me something else. But the ones that I spoke about earlier, They're literally like the market opens on open, shoots up or down, either direction, doesn't really matter. And then instantly there's like a reversal. It's like a V-shaped reversal. And it happens really quick, really, really quick. Like within a few candles, boom, boom, boom. This, there's still very much like it's still very much trapped in kind of like a range. Yeah, we had a little bit of a push up, but we never really broke the high. Well, we didn't break the high. It's just a lot of ranging. But look at that, 650. They're struggling to push it up. I may go short potentially. Just want to measure how many points this is. 10 point. Yeah, I'm going to have a stop a bit higher though, innit? Just want to see what happens here, because there is a lot of sellers as well, and they can't really get it up. I mean, get it down. And the buyers, okay, they are slowly kind of. There are sellers coming in. I'm going to go short real quick. Maybe we can get to the bottom of the range. I'll have my stop. The range isn't that big. It's actually a very small range, believe it or not. Believe it or not, it's a tiny range. I'm kind of hoping the sellers, you know, can kind of defend this area. We are at the point of control, so it's a bit of a silly place to enter, truth be told. I wouldn't recommend entering on like a live cash account or something. This is more just a little hunch, but because we got this point of control here, and that's it's a bit silly to enter above it. Does that make sense? It's not really a smart place to enter, but it's fine. We need some action. We're already 15 minutes in. We haven't got any action. I'm feeling that maybe we revisit the bottom of the range. This is just a little bit of consolidation in the middle, and then we get to the bottom of the range, and then, you know, all right, point of control is moving down. If buyers start entering, I will get out. I'm not going to be. Oh, look at that, 300, and that just stopped in their tracks. That is not a good sign for us sellers. So we need to get below that 300. Otherwise, they're trapped, and then we're still. This could be the new kind of small range, but if we get below, here we go. Get a little bit of a push. Got my finger on flatten just in case. Come on. Come on, there we go. Get below. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's just too many buyers. This could be the new range. Decide to get out. This little area here, the range is getting smaller and smaller. It probably will break out soon, but I'm not risking it. It's too choppy. Until we get out of all this kind of dirty air. Do you know what I mean? This kind of filthy price action where it's just too many buyers, there's too many sellers. It's not really going anywhere. Yeah, so the sellers took control, buyers took control again. And then I'm assuming near the top, sellers might take control again. And we're just going to kind of go up and down until eventually someone gives up, and we might have a bit of. But my God, this open is. There's still no direction in this market. Can you believe that? We had CPI. I thought CPI for sure is going to open this market up a bit. What the hell is needed? I also saw, in the news that our good old buddy Jerome Powell, Trump is doing something. I can't remember. It's like criminal proceedings or some shit to Jerome Powell. So maybe, I don't know. That's you'd expect that to be sending a few shockwaves into the market, but we're not really doing anything. There's a lot of indecision. It's not even indecision. It's just a lot of, clashing. Big players completely disagreeing with what might happen. And we need a bit of clarity. We need a bit of agreement in the market. There's just no agreement. And it's going to continue like this until something is a catalyst to finally, do you know what I mean? Finally, get some kind of agreement in this market. I think it's a cocktail of things. I think it's a lot of people are wondering, look, how much longer is this kind of bullish momentum going to last for? We know that the US stock market is massively overvalued. I don't think there's a single analyst out there who doesn't agree with that. It is hugely overvalued right now. You got this AI bubble doom kind of, coming over, and they predict that the AI bubble, when that bursts, that's going to be bigger than a .com. It's going to be bigger than, all the previous bubbles, essentially. This is a huge freaking bubble, and that's going to pop. And pretty much everyone agrees, again, analysts, that it is going to pop at some point. It just, God knows when. So there's a lot of, we're just in this range, see? Up, down, up, down. So there's a lot of kind of big, looming, doom and gloom kind of situations for the near future. And no one truly knows when it's going to happen. Just, you can't predict these things, because it's such a big collective. The market's made up of, millions and millions of minds and algorithms, and it's a snowball effect when crashes happen. Something is a catalyst that sparks it off, drops a couple percent, whatever, and everyone panics, and then that mass panic causes more and more of a drop, and it's a catalyst. And we don't know what that catalyst is going to be, but it's unstable. The market's unstable. It's not a stable market. Because look, positive news is something positive might pump the market up. Well, it will pump the market up, of course. But something negative will push the market down more than the market would pump up on comparative positive news. Does that make sense? So everyone is a bit careful. You can feel that nervousness in the market. Everyone's like Bambi, very easily spooked. So people, there's people are making their money and getting the hell out. They're all becoming scalpers, essentially. They're all scalpers. What could open this market up? I'm going to check the calendar. Maybe there's something in the news this week. PPI tomorrow, nothing. That's not going to do it. Unemployment claims, that's not going to do it. Yeah, this week we got nothing. CPI earlier, that didn't really do much. Didn't really shake it up massively. I would have thought CPI would have done it. It's just insane. Didn't really get much. And we didn't get much follow through either. We had that initial spike on this, from CPI. Initial spike, and no one really wants to, there was no real follow through. The numbers weren't even great. I mean, it was pretty flat, slightly in the negative, I think. Let me double check. I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, 0.2%. And the forecast was 0.3. Really, really not that much. I mean, it was pretty flat, but still. Yeah, didn't get any follow through. We've kind of double topped. And let me get the chat up again. I'm not looking at the chat. Supreme Court ruling on tariffs tomorrow. That could actually, that's a good shout. The tariff has been the only major thing that's kind of really always moved the market in, at least last year. I mean, the tariff really did. That was ridiculous, especially that initial hit. My God, 20-something% drop. I think more. It was like a 25% drop on the NQ over the course of like 2 weeks, or I can't remember how long, but nonetheless, it was a huge move. And that was all tariff related. Everyone thought this is a crash. This is the big crash we've all been waiting for. And technically, I mean, I would call that somewhat of a crash, but it recovered very quickly. I mean, a 25% drop is definitely, in my opinion, I think that's a small crash by far. New home sales coming at 10. Aha. That's yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that's going to really do much, to be honest. We'll see. Orange folder. We'll see what new home sales does. Unless it's ridiculous numbers, right? Unless it's a real upset, unless it's like completely far away from the forecast. I can't imagine it will do much. Might get a little bigger candle, but nothing ridiculous. Oh, we got something later on. President Trump speaks. I didn't even see that. Due to speak at the Detroit Economic Club. He speaks frequently on a broad range of subjects. Only speeches that might have a direct input are listed on the calendar. Again, it depends what he says. This is the thing with having a president like Trump. Is you can't really predict the guy, right? Like he could say anything, and that's going to send shockwaves. People are listening all the time. There are algorithms that will pick up every single word he says, and just say one thing and boom, or one tweet. The tweets are even more dangerous because they're not even planned. He could tweet right this second and crash this market. We do not know. And that's the first time almost in history, I think, pretty much as far as I'm aware, that's the first time in history that could happen, because we've never had communication that's that instant, like Twitter or X. Never before have we had something like that. We used to have those Bloomberg terminals and whatnot, but again, that's not really the same. The information that is delivered so quick to everyone. One tweet, goodbye market. So we'll see. So whenever, I don't know, there's President Trump speaks in the news, I'm avoiding it. I'm not trading it. You just don't know, man. The guy can say anything, and before you know it, you could be in a nice trade, and then boom, all of a sudden, one candle, instant. And you can't react to that. You can't even cover yourself from that. Of course you have a stop loss, but there's literally nothing you can do. Well, there you go. My camera has decided that its temperature is too hot. So my camera is switched off, but it's fine. You don't really need to see me, to be honest. My screen, hopefully you can still hear me. My mic should be separate. Well, this is freaking good, isn't it? Why this has never happened before? Why is it actually hot? I'm gonna touch the camera. Oh my god, it's like a radiator. All right, yeah, the camera is feels like it's about to. I can cook an egg on this thing. So I'm just gonna switch off the camera, let it cool down for a few minutes, and I'll switch it back on, and my face will be visible. But you don't need to see my face as long as you can hear me. It's actually quite good because I can inhale some nicotine without YouTube getting all pissy at me. Doc Tanny, good to see you. How are you, my friend? Thomas says there is this meme where you see a balanced chart and all of a sudden there is a sound that says China with Trump's voice and the market melts instantly. I think I've seen that. Yeah. Oh god, any China related talk from Trump, that is a trader's worst nightmare now. Unless you happen to be on the right side of the market, then that's a beautiful payday. But oh, nicotine, so good. Oh, are we breaking out this range? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Finally. All right. Is this a real breakout? A false breakout? The volume's looking good. It's looking very good. And it seems somewhat effective. I mean, there's obviously going to be a bit of a back from the buyers, but we're trading below the real, chunk of heavy volume, which is here. So far, so good. I don't want to chase it because it could be a false breakout, but we're getting some. At least we're out of this damn range, so that's a first. I would love to kind of get back into that chunk of volume. You can see where that 500 is. Instant rejected. But I would love to see a little bit of a pullback and then, a continuation. That could be a good entry, but let's just see if it gives us a bit of a pullback. I mean, we've had a tiny bit of a pullback. We just tapped into it and instantly, but let's see if we actually get a proper one. Sufi just got $450 in 2 seconds. Damn. You guys are smashing it, man. You guys are smashing it. This could be a cash account trade for me. I'm just going to get my cash account loaded up because this looks nice. And the buyers are still absorbing the sellers here. They're not ready yet. As long as we stay, we don't go above those sellers, the heavy sellers, they can battle it out a bit. I just want to see the buyers give up a bit and get exhausted. They haven't really put that much volume into the market in comparison. Now you see that we're kind of getting above it a bit, so the defense wasn't quite there. But let's see. Still not over. I mean, there's only a few ticks above. It's not a true kind of. Let's see if the sellers can keep these buyers at bay. Oh, that was a big chunk right there. That was a nice big chunk, but they are reloading. They are reloading. All right, here comes some sellers. Are they effective? Not really. Buyers are still pressing the sellers. Not really happening. No. Didn't quite get the move, unfortunately. It looked like a false breakout. Maybe a bit further up, some of these sellers might get squeezed out. And then we get near the point of control again. And then they return and push this market down. But they didn't quite manage to keep the buyers at bay here. These sellers are probably, they're probably going to start dropping out of their position very quickly now. And this market's just going to push up for a little bit. That's a shame. Because if that wasn't a false breakout and a real good, little pullback, the sellers came in, we would have had a lovely move down and we actually start creating some kind of trend structure. But let's see, it's still not technically over. The sellers haven't really let go of their position either. They're still in the market. They haven't truly been squeezed out yet. A few of them have. You can see where there's a big chunk of kind of buy volume that kind of came in. That's mostly a lot of these sellers coming out. And they're starting to come back in. But they are... Let me just see if that gap is still in play. Oh, God, I haven't updated this in ages. What have I done? There we go. Let me just make this bigger. Oh, it's moved. It has moved. That gap's still good. All right. Let's see. Yeah, now the seller's got trapped. By the looks of it. But we got this point of control here where I expect sellers to come back in again. So I'm just going to watch the order flow, see what's happening. I'll look at the chat real quick. Just got $450 in 2 seconds. Amazing. Today I made $633 from NQ. Man, everyone in the chat's killing it. Well done. Well done. I'm very proud of all of you. If you hear some heavy breathing, just try ignore it. That sounds weird, but I'm just inhaling stuff that helps me trade. Let's just put it that way. That sounds like I'm doing some crazy drug. I'm not doing drugs. If that's, it's just nicotine. Obviously, I wouldn't really care about showing it on camera, but there is. I'm pretty sure you can't show that on YouTube because they're very strict. You can't show anything on YouTube. Hey, I'm surprised they even allow trading on YouTube. Watch, there'll come a time they'll ban trading on YouTube. I guarantee it. There'll come a time, one day, they'll ban any trading related stuff on YouTube. Just give it a few years. It will happen. Okay, these sellers are looking like they might be taking control again. The buyers are still trying to fight it, but I think that was just a bit of a pullback. I'm going to go in with... I can do 5. I've got the balance. It's fine. I'm just going to wait here. Because those buyers are starting to fail. I'm going to go in. I haven't got a great... what do you call it? The stop is going to have to be quite big, but... we got a freaking low right there. Didn't even notice it, but that's fine. I can have... I'm going to keep my stop quite dynamic. I can't even see what I'm looking at here. All right. I think we can blow through that low. I know there's going to be a bit of pushback, but I can just flatten if things get a bit rough. But I think we're going down. So we're back at the beginning of, CPI, where CPI started. If we drift up just a little bit more and we kind of break this 198 bunch of sellers, I kind of want to see these sellers hold. If not, then we'll probably just have another little pullback and I can jump back in again. But if they hold, okay, we're starting to slowly break. No, we didn't break. Buyers are trying it. Andre, I'm good. How are you? Sam the man, how are you doing? I will turn on my camera again. It's just overheated, the camera. Oh, all right. We saw 100 contracts come in, dropped straight back down to 50. They're reloading a bit, the sellers. They're keeping the buyers at bay, which is good. Buyers are still trying to take control here. And I'm very aware that this could be, this. We really need to take out this low. That's what we need to do. We really need to take out this low. I will flatten, you know, even if I see a little bit of danger, because I didn't get a great entry. I'm quite low down. That's it. Add on the contracts. There we go. That's it. Keep pushing down now. Come on. Let's take out this low. Take them out. Oh, don't fail here. We were like 100 or something. We're back down to, okay, they are reloading. It's okay. I feel like the sellers might have this now. I'm hoping buyers start giving up, but they're still, this chop is insane. Did your camera overheat or your lungs? Both. No, for some reason the camera overheated. I bought a like a capture card to increase the what do you call it? The quality. Because before, when you just did it USB streaming, 720p was the highest quality you could do. And I had a few people say, "Oh, can you do 1080p?" Which is understandable because, you know, we're in 2026 now. 720p is a bit of a joke. So I bought this. I did some research. Said, "Oh, you need like this capture card, HDMI." I bought it, and it's made my camera overheat. So maybe I bought a shit one. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a better one. Oh, these sellers, come on. We need to get below this 126. We need to get below them. I don't want to see these sellers struggle here. Because if they start struggling, this could be a failed trade here. They're struggling. Look at that. Come on. But the good thing is every time we dip up higher, sellers are instantly pushing it back down. So that's a good sign, but there is a bad sign that we're struggling to get lower, despite the amount of volume that came in. This could be a pullback. Sellers are still struggling. Come on, you should have broken this by now. Come on. The hell is taking so long? There we go. 100. Let's see. 196. Let's see. Come on. We need follow through. 200. So all these dip buyers, they're just buying the dip. Come on. We need follow through here. We need to break it. Come on. Get below. There we go. Bit more volume. That's it. You're going to add some more volume. Instantly, again, every freaking level we go down, buyers come in. Eventually, they'll give up, obviously. But it's going to be further down before they give up. And then we get a bit more smoother kind of movement. But especially, you know, as long as we're above this low here, buyers are going to keep trying to buy the dip. We're getting, look at that. Look at all that volume stacked up here. We're still not going down. I still think we will, but the buyers are too aggressive right now. Look at that, 100 contracts. I'm getting out. I think if we get a bit more of a pullback up, I can jump back in, but this is filth. All right, I'm going to try switch on the camera. Let's see if this works. It should have cooled down. All right, camera is on. I don't think my pictures come up. What's going on? I mean, it's all plugged in. I don't know. Let me unplug it and plug it back in. Maybe that will help. Unplugged. Plug back in. Great. That didn't work. Okay, so apparently, even on YouTube, if your camera overheats and it turns off, even when you turn it back on, YouTube refuses to. And there's nothing in the settings here where I can switch the camera. Let me just double check. But as far as I'm aware, there's nothing. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to use OBS next time. I'm gonna after this stream, after I'm done with today's work, I'm gonna go to OBS and set all that up because I this is rubbish. So unfortunately, you're not gonna see me on this stream, but I'm sure you can live without seeing my face. It's probably even better. I'll probably get the best viewership of my life now. Now that my face isn't there. Okay, well, what's happened? Oh, we did push down. Okay, nice. But oof, yeah, look at that. There's a lot of absorption coming in from these buyers. I'm gonna just like we haven't had a clean move down because there's been a ton of buyers just buying, trying to, you know, absorb all these sellers. But I've been adamant that we're overall going down for a while now. We just haven't. They got to make their move at some point. There's been too much buy pressure in this market, and we haven't relatively really gone up for the amount of pressure that's come in. So there's got to be a correction. There's got to be a pop at some point. And I'm hoping we had CPI that pushed the market up. No extension after the initial, move. We've double topped. I'm hoping people see this and start giving up and saying, okay, maybe we're not actually going to break out of this range. Because if you look still on the daily, I don't know exactly where we are, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're still very much, we're at the highs here of this kind of range. Yes, we've been kind of drifting up for a while, since like November. But yeah, I'm hoping at least, but this whole area here, since the beginning of January, essentially, beginning of this year even, so from this little part here, this has had so much buy pressure. This whole little move up, ridiculous amount of buying. And if you actually look on the grand scheme of things, it's hardly been a move, right? It hasn't been like this, where it's a clear kind of smooth sailing. It's been very kind of compact, lots of buying in a small area. And there's just been sellers absorbing, big institutional sellers absorbing all that pressure. And I'm expecting once it pops, boom, we get at least, back down to these kind of lows of the range, like a really good sell-off. I'm talking, 5%, 6% drop. And then after that, they're all going to cash out. And then it can continue going up, whatever. But either way, I'm expecting that to happen. We've just had this kind of squeeze for the last 2 weeks or however long it's been now. Let's go back to the minute. And volume footprint. Oh, we did break out. Didn't even notice. Look at the 1 minute. Yeah, just every time I talk, it moves. And then every time I enter, it just stays still. It's Jerome Powell. He's watching me trade and he's instructing his market makers to do the opposite. That's my theory. Sammy Rowe, what's your professional background? Essentially, from the first job I've ever had was working at an old school prop firm in the city of London. They're closed now. I mean, they don't exist anymore. But basically, an old school prop firm, and old school prop firms were different to prop firms now. It was essentially a trading floor where, if you wanted to get into trading, you would essentially pay the prop firm to teach you how to trade, and you'd be almost like unpaid employee. In fact, you're paying them for the knowledge, and they'll teach you after you've done 6 months of hard learning. They put you in a simulated environment. You have to actually go there every day, like a job, work, trade, whatever. But you're being simulated at first, and then once you've hit targets and you've kind of, they're happy with your results and that you're ready for some live money, they'll open up, maybe like 50,000 or something credit in your account, give you an account basically, and then you start trading with real money, and then you get a percentage. And then a lot of prop firms, they would also offer you kind of like a base salary as well. So that was like old school prop firm. So I worked at an old school prop firm in London, not as a trader though, as in the marketing department when I was 19. And from there, that kind of sparked my interest in trading. Obviously knew a lot of the traders, the guys there on the floor, I started learning, and they kind of taught me, obviously, because I was an employee as well. I didn't have to pay for the knowledge, which is always good. I kind of, that was my introduction to trading. But then essentially a lot of these prop firms, they kind of not went bust, but it was very hard to kind of, convert people, because it's a big ask, pay us thousands, right, for the education, come in every day and essentially work on the trading floor. You're not going to be paid, you're not going to see a return or any kind of money at least for a year. It was a difficult, it's a hard sell basically. And a lot of the income, a lot of the revenue for these prop firms were the educational side. So a lot of them just kind of stopped offering it after a while, and especially when new prop firms like the modern prop firm came about, they just killed off these old prop firms, because you pay for a challenge now, pass the challenge, and then boom, you're funded. It's a whole different ball game now. So a lot of these kind of went bust. And when that happened, I kind of traded my own money for many years, kind of just as an independent trader for myself, retail trader. And then I got back into kind of the institutional level with the guys behind Ola Prime. So originally they were just a closed capital trading floor, worked as a trader for them. And then they decided to open up a prop firm called Ola Prime. And then when we opened up the prop firm, they basically gave me not a job, because I was already employed, but like a promotion or whatever to run the UK side of things for their prop firm, all while still being a trader. And then and now we're here. So pretty much my whole professional background has always been in this industry, essentially. But I've done like a few little bit other things when I was independent, and as an independent trader, I did a bunch of little other things as well. Even appeared in a film. That was awesome. There's a bit of a funny story. But one day I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. He's still around. He hasn't died or anything. But he, I don't know, he knew some casting person. They needed some extras. And they were filming close to where I live. And they're like, yeah, come down. So I came down. I had nothing else to do. And one of their featured actors dropped out. So they gave me a featured role. And then for a whole month, I was filming. I was only like kind of in the background. I didn't have any lines or anything. I'm not actually an actor. But, I had I was just on set, and it was amazing. That was a wicked experience, man. So yeah, I don't know. But that's the beauty of trading as well, because you don't have a 9 to 5, like, do you know what I mean? You don't have to kind of, if you're an independent trader, you don't have to go to work, or you choose your hours. Now, obviously, you're kind of dictated by the market, like, but for the most part, if you want to take a month off and, I don't know, be an extra in the background of some film, you can do that as a trader. You don't have to, but you can do that. And that's the greatest part of being a trader. It really is. But this whole idea of like, once you're a trader, when you go on holiday, you're trading on the beach. That's a load of bullshit. I gotta say, that's a load of bollocks. Never in my life have I traded on a beach. It's the last thing you want to do. Do you know what I mean? You get sand in the laptop. You can't see anything because the sun is glaring on the screen. It's like nah, you would never do that. It's all a big lie. You are back. Thought we lost you for the day after that last outage. Oh yeah, no. Apologies. Like if I ever cut out, just go back on my channel. I'll be back live a few minutes later. It's just YouTube being crap basically. But I will get that sorted. Apparently if I use OBS, it sorts that problem. So I'll be moving forward. I'm gonna set up OBS, and that shouldn't happen again, thankfully. But yeah, what was I saying? Okay, we're back into this gap. I just realized. Is that still a gap? I need to actually double check. It is a gap. It's a little bit drawn wrong, but it's fine. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback potentially in this gap. It's still, I mean, we're chugging down, but it's still not smooth. Buyers still haven't truly given up. I want to see them just, give up, completely give up. Let's crash this market once and for all. All right, I want to see a pullback. What I am going to do, though, is draw a volume profile from, this move down to see if there's any gaps in volume where there's really not that many. Because we haven't had quick movement. Only kind of minor one I can see. I mean, there's one right at the top here, but it's not going to go back there. Unlikely. And there's a minor, really small one, but it's not really there. But I'd be a bit. But yeah, I want to see now a pullback, which we're getting. Good. But I want to see a bit more of a pullback than that. I don't just want one candle. I want a few candles, start drifting up a bit. Buyers get trapped and then boom, push down again. That would be good. That's what I want to see. So let's see what the footprint's saying. It's not looking bad. It's not really any trapped sellers, not a huge amount. So I'm quite happy that this isn't, we could easily revisit this area again. Just want to see where a big chunk of sellers came in. I mean, they came in little bits, They came in at the top here, again here. They've really just piled on the positions as it moved down. And they kind of have stopped. I mean, there's another one. So once that pullback comes in, hopefully, I just want a bit more than that. Come on. This is a pathetic pullback. Give me a little bit more. I want to see, either from here and then continue, or ideally, all the way up here and then continue down. That would be a much, much better, but we'll see. But at least into the first gap. At very least. Got people jumping the gun a bit here, trying to sell a bit early. basically me. That's what I do. I have yet to take a trade on my cash account as well, which is slightly annoying. I completely forgot about it, but it's fine. I've noticed it's recently, later on in the day, that's it's been actually better trading conditions. So I'm happy to wait a few hours, come back my time, probably around like 6 p.m. my time. So in about 2.5, 3 hours, come back and trade my cash, because it's been a bit better. Do you trade also London session? I found that during London, NQ can be traded very well. During NY, I prefer ES due to more readability. Yeah, you're absolutely right. London is nice and calm, and a lot of the time it respects structure quite well. So you can absolutely trade London. I have obviously traded pre-market before. I haven't done it in recent times, not because it's more just because of other work. I've always got a lot of meetings and all sorts of shit I have to do early in the morning. So I don't really have the time to trade the London Open, or not the Open, but during the London session. But yeah, if I had the time and I saw something very nice, I would absolutely take it in London. It's a lot more calm. And you're right, the ES is definitely much easier to read than the NQ. It's so much easier to read. I mean, if we switch to the ES footprint, if it decides to load, there we go. Obviously, I gotta turn this right down because the ES doesn't move as much. We'll probably do 8 ticks per cluster. Yeah, it moves like it's got a much clearer kind of footprint to read, just because I think there's a lot more volume in the market on the ES, so you can kind of see those extremes a lot easier than the NQ. The Dow as well, like, has very low volume in comparison. Dow has even lower volume than the NQ, so it's even harder to read. But you can just see like the range, 2,000 contracts when it averages maybe 200-300, sometimes a bit smaller. It's just got a better range of high to low, so your eyes pick up on it a lot easier. Oh, that's a bad. Look at that, 666. Now, if you ever see 666 on the chart, you want to draw it. You want to stab it because it's evil. Just stab it. There we go. Get rid of it. Obviously, I'm just talking shit right now. But yeah, the ES is a great market, especially order flow wise. It's really nice to read. The NQ just moves a lot. The NQ is kind of a good balance as well in terms of how quick it moves, or how much it moves, I should say, and its volume. Oh, we're in that area. Shit. You don't make your move now. I missed it, didn't I? Let me pump it to 20. Don't make your move yet. Let me see a bit more detail. We dropped to 20. Come on, load. I want it to happen a bit higher up. We're dead in that kind of buys and sellers, but it's basically balanced each other out quite well. Heavy buyers, heavy sellers, but either one didn't really go anywhere. I wanted to see more, a bit higher up, not where we are, in that kind of zone. So I think it might come back up a bit, retest it. Let's see. Wasn't quite ready, which is good, because I would have missed it otherwise. Sorry, mate, my fault. No. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. There's actually worked in my favor. All right, so we've got buyers coming in. I mean, ideally, this zone would be better. A bit higher up would be better. $1080p, I know. I got a capture card. I told you. I'll get it sorted. But then the camera overheated, so that's why you can't see me. Something to do with the capture card, I don't know. Overheated the camera, which is fine. You don't need to see me, but I'm going to switch to OBS, so it's going to be a much more stable stream as well. I think it's there's not going to be any crashes or anything like that. We're going to have a much more stable, better stream when I switch to OBS. Oh, I should mention at 4 p.m. again, I do have to leave. I have a interview I'm going to do at 4 p.m. But again, just like yesterday, if all goes, nice and quick, it's usually tops an hour. I'll come back again after the interview and keep streaming. Oh, wow, that happened quick. I would never have been able to react in that time. That was instant. What the hell? Literally touched the gap and boom. Gave me no chance. See, this is why I hate when the market is quick and you just can't react in time. There was no way I would have ever caught that. Way too quick. That's why sometimes a bit later on, especially recently, when the market's calmed down and it's a bit more, a bit calmer, you can catch trades a lot easier. Because if you actually look as well, there's a bit of a lag between the footprint and the candle as well. But I think that lag is also down to the fact that I'm streaming, screen sharing. That's also down to my computer, I think. Damn, that was lightning fast. Why not sell limit orders at that zone? I mean, you could do that, but there's no guarantee you would have rejected. Do you know what I mean? It could have easily just blown right through. So I wanted to see, something in the footprint while we're there. Like big sellers come in, something, and then I can catch the move. But normally, I mean, to be fair, like JC, to be fair, I mean, that was just unlucky. It happened so quick. Normally, the market doesn't just jump that quickly and make its move. Sometimes you do have like at least 10-20 seconds to react, before it makes its move. This was just, tough shit, really. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, you could trade gaps and have, limit orders set, tight stops. You're obviously going to get stopped out, quite a lot, but you could do it that way as well. But then you don't really need the footprint either, to be fair. Then you can just trade the candlesticks. It'll probably load quicker and so now I just got to wait for another rotation, essentially. Because there's no point entering here because there's also a chance it can, reject off this gap again, potentially start ranging a little bit in this area, and then eventually, break. There's no guarantee, or there's not even a high probability that we're just going to, break this low and continue down this leg. While I do think it's going to be a leg down again and break this low, I do think that is going to happen. The probability starts becoming less and less. As you start reaching these lows, you're going to get new buyers come in. There could be a chance, we start potentially ranging a little bit. And then eventually, after a few rotations up and down, it eventually breaks. So, yeah, I've essentially missed it, because otherwise theoretically my trade would have to be, I mean, I could do it easier here. Theoretically, my trade would have to be like this, which is not really good. Oops. Dark Fire, waiting on NQ to touch 25,800, then looking for longs. Let's see, 25,800. So a nice cycle. Oh, what the hell? Why have I got Fibonacci up? 25,800. Let's have a look. So literally just below. Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of a reaction. It's a psychological level. I think absolutely there's opportunity to long the market, especially as a scalper. There's always opportunity. But I'm gonna really only kind of target shorts for this session, unless we break structure and start looking like we're going back up again then. But the sellers are definitely in control right now. Look at that little pool of sellers at the bottom here. If they fail here, then we might get another rotation up, and then I should have another opportunity to short the market. So I kind of hope the sellers fail. And if anyone's in a short, I do apologize, but I kind of do hope the sellers fail just so I can get a trade in. Kind of hoping we push up and squeeze them out. Give me another rotation up, have a little bit of a range, get me to the top again, and I can short it. That would be quite nice. Here we go. Yes. Good. Now let's keep pushing up. Give me an entry. Give me an entry. Come on. Come on. Just going to look at the 5-minute footprint, see if there's anything interesting. Yeah, we couldn't really take out that candle there where there's a hell of a lot of volume, which is still, in my opinion, therefore the shorts are still. Yeah, I think we're just in a little bit of a range here. We're just going to potentially, have a few rotations. Doesn't mean it's going to go right to the top again, but a bit of a nasty choppy range, and then eventually I think we're going to pop down. So I don't want to short it when we're near the middle or the bottom. I only want to short it when we're near the top of the range. So anything above, this box here, anything between that kind of area, I'll be willing to short if it gives me some kind of confirmation. But when we're at the bottom here, nah, I don't want to short it. Especially not after all those sellers are trapped, because they're going to get squeezed out. But my God, that happened super quick. I wonder if you could see it if I do like 4 ticks, so 1 point per cluster. I wonder if you can, yeah, so you can literally see the gap that was formed. So where it says 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, obviously it wasn't all 50, right? So the way it works, the way TradingView calculates it, they get from the CME, they get just like lumps. So they know that this area here had, 100, 2, 3, 4, 400 or something negative delta, but they don't know which individual price point, because it happened so quick. It doesn't know which individual price point it was, so it just evenly spreads it out. So that's why you get that 50, 50, 50, or you get all the same numbers in, one row. So that whole area is basically a gap. So the order was executed obviously above somewhere, and TradingView's printed it here, but the real order would have been above that 50. Maybe here somewhere it would have initially been executed, and it just gapped the market down, and they got basically, averaged out their price probably in the middle somewhere. Why don't you use another platform for order flow? CVD is not accurate on TradingView. It is accurate. Look, every order flow platform has a different way of calculating, because from the CME exchange itself, they only get basically the information from the time and sales, right? So they can see quantity, they can see the price, and they can see which price it was executed at. And now, if the market's very volatile, there's going to be a tiny bit of slippage. Say, someone places an order now, and it was at 8. I mean, it's moving so quick, it's kind of hard to see, but somewhere in the order book, it was basically placed at the best available price, and there was a little bit of slippage. Every order flow platform doesn't fully know whether that was on the ask side or the bid side of the order book it was executed on. So some change it a little bit. Some you'll get a little bit conflicting data, but it's not like massive amounts, right? Like I use Sierra charts for years. Like years and years. My whole trading career, I was using Sierra charts. And don't get me wrong, Sierra charts is fantastic. It's definitely what I would say is probably the best platform for order flow. But it's freaking annoying to use. It's not easy to use. And the reason I made the switch to TradingView was, I really like the fact that I can change the ticks per row. I know that doesn't sound like a great feature, but for me, that really is such a nice feature to have. I can just change the ticks per row on the clusters. You'd be surprised how many order flow platforms do not have that. But that way I can adjust each cluster to suit my eyes and the speed of the market. And that really helps me kind of spot, just for like purely visual, helps me spot things a lot easier. It's very intuitive to use, like just the moving, the tools. It's cloud-based as well. I just literally visit a link and everything is loaded up. I don't need to download the software. And I also think TradingView is the biggest charting provider in the world, right? As order flow becomes more popular, it's going to be like they're only going to make it better. Believe me, in a few years' time, I think TradingView is going to be one of the best order flow platforms. They're going to overtake the others. They just got so much money as well. They're a public company now. Oh shit, we've moved down. I completely missed it. Freaking hell. It's fine. I don't care. But every time I look away and talk, it makes its move. Yeah, it touched the gap, and I didn't see what happened here, but whether I would have seen anything and actually caught it is another question, but never mind. But yeah, I think TradingView is going to become, in the future, they're still relatively new to order flow, so I understand that they're not going to be the best, but I think they will be at one point. They're going to be, like, order flow is undeniably the future for retail traders. It's not the future for trading, quant trading and all that kind of high frequency stuff is the future, or the current, top of the line stuff. But retail traders don't have access to that. I mean, we just don't. It's too expensive. So for the retail trading space, order flow is kind of the future, if that makes sense, right? Give it 5 years, majority of retail traders will be more on the order flow side of things, and traditional candlestick patterns and stuff like that will die out. That's just the natural evolution. And as that happens, TradingView is obviously going to make more moves in, refining their order flow tools, and I think they're just going to be the best, because they're just the biggest player, But yeah, like, at the end of the day, you don't need the data to be 1,000,000% accurate. It's never going to be 1,000,000% accurate, because any footprint, there's a level of logic to it. Every platform has to calculate it a little bit differently. But as long as you kind of understand the overall gist, as long as, look, these were sellers, that's fine. These were buyers, that's fine. You don't really need to know, if this is 256 or 240, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I'm kind of going with TradingView for now. And it's clean. It's just like I have other order flow platforms. I still got Sierra charts, Atus, however you say it. I've got them. I've tried Bookmap. I didn't really like Bookmap. I don't know. I just never really got on with it. I've got Go Charting as well. I've got a bunch of different platforms that I still pay for. I don't know why, but I like to kind of once in a while just, I don't know, have a look at them. And yeah, deep charts. Yeah, I've looked at deep charts because he's from that. I forgot his name. Andre, is it? He's an influencer. He's all about order flow. He's just released that deep charts. I've looked at it. I think I follow them on Instagram as well. Their platform looks decent, so I'm gonna take out a subscription and give it a good test when I've got a bit of time, because I love just trying out new platforms as well. You know, every platform, like especially in order flow, every platform has like a specific thing they're really good at. Do you know what I mean? Like TradingView is probably what I would call like the Tesla of the charting world, right? It's not really, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of traditional order flow traders kind of hate on it because it's the new kid on the block. It's kind of like the Tesla and, trying to join a car club that's all about V8 engines and Mustangs and muscle cars. Like you're going to get laughed at, right? They're all going to say, oh, it's shit. And it kind of is. I get where that comes from. But then at the same time, you kind of realize that TradingView at one point is probably going to be the future. So I'm getting used to, their platform as much as I can in anticipation that one day that is going to be the standard. But they are basically the Tesla of which I understand. And look, I don't have a Tesla. I wouldn't buy a Tesla. Not that I got anything against the Tesla. It's I still like a proper engine. I get it, but you can't deny the fact that Tesla is an impressive car in terms of it's 0 to 60 and stuff. It is an impressive car. You can't deny it. But yeah, Quant Tower has a good Bookmap style heat chart, way cleaner than Bookmap. Oh really? I didn't know that. Good stuff. Yeah, Quant Tower. I've never actually tried Quant Tower, if I'm honest. I've never tried them, but I'll have a look at them one day. A lot of people use Quant Tower here. You should make a video trying deep charts. Yeah, I will. The moment I get what do you call it? The moment I subscribe, as soon as I got a bit of time where I can just, because I always get time on the weekend and I can't really test out the footprint on the weekend. You know what I mean? But yeah, as soon as I got like an empty day, I'll try it out and see what happens. But it does look nice, man. It does look nice. I drive a Tesla. No, fair play, man. Tesla's a good car. Like, it's not my choice, but fair play. I can understand why like people like it though. It's an impressive vehicle nonetheless. I use Quant Tower as well. I like it. Quant Tower is similar to ATAS, but way more user friendly. Okay, I'm going to check out Quant Tower as well. I've never actually tried it, but I'm going to check it out. But in terms of, if you want like a software that can do everything and you're very kind of code minded and you want something with pure customization, Sierra charts is the best. Like even, when I traded institutionally, we use Sierra charts and you could make it look like anything. Like it's so customizable, but frickin' hell is it difficult to use. Like for the average retail trade, if I made videos using Sierra charts, most people, it will take you like 3-4 months of, trying it every day, watching tutorial videos just to kind of learn how to navigate the damn thing. And then you're probably going to have to hire someone to make you a template or buy a pre-made template that you like, in order to, you know, it's just difficult. Time to short. Oh shit! Look at this. We just moved up. All right, let's have a look. Not time to short just yet. We've kind of cleared that area. Ah shit! I got to leave in a few minutes though, because I have a meeting at 4 p.m. But I will be back around 5 p.m. UK time. There is same bubbles delta indicator as on deep charts. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to try deep charts because it looks amazing, man. It looks amazing, and it was truly built by someone who is an order flow trader as well. Well, I'm assuming he, you know, had a lot of input into it. So I'd love to. I really do want to try it out. In fact, I'll do it soon on the stream. I'll I'll try and get a subscription today. If I got a bit of time, I'll quickly buy one and play around with it, and then do it on stream because it is amazing. It does look amazing. Potential short, but I do have to go, unfortunately. All right, guys, I have a meeting in 3 minutes, so I have to get changed into the Ola Prime gear and sort out the camera. But I will be back most likely in about an hour's time to continue trading. Okay, so come back in about an hour. If you can't, I'll be back again tomorrow, New York Open. So Thomas, no worries, I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see you guys, hopefully most of you, in about an hour. Take care, everyone. And yeah, it does look actually decent for a short, but I can't obviously take it. But yeah, see you guys in an hour. Take care, everyone.